Rick, can you hear me? Hello, hello. It's been so long since I've done a live stream. I'm just playing. I'm gonna do a box of halves here if anybody joins, but I don't know if you guys can hear me. VMC says no, cannot hear me. Well, that's problematic because it looks like you should be able to hear me. Can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Okay, so my external microphone is not working. So let's disable that. Very cool. Look at you guys. We got lots of you guys jumping in. Up the volume a little bit. Well, it's unfortunately coming through my computer rather than my big microphone. So give me a second. Let me see if I can troubleshoot that. Hello, can you hear me now? I just replugged in my big microphone. So you can hear me. Is it louder? Good. And for some reason, Nightbot is not playing along today. So I have no Nightbot. So don't know if I can do any kind of giveaways or anything. Give me a moment. Let me play with that. So enter that into the moderators list and don't forget to hit save. Okay. Let's try that. Okay. So that is saved. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it now. It is in. Oh wait, no, the chat's there. It's showing up. So I see you guys there. All right, let's go back to Nightbot, log in again. So look at giveaways, I see everybody. All right, so there we go. Apologies, I haven't done a live stream in like 6 months, guys. So this was just kind of something I wanted to do because I got a box of $50 here, and they're mostly 2022s. And I weighed them, and I've got a lot of like low 226 rolls, and I don't know if that's all from it just being brand new halves or maybe we got lucky and there's some silver hiding out in there. But I did want to just get online and do that. So let's see here. Who's in the chat? I got VMC. I got Hunting Southwest Ohio. Hunting Southwest Ohio. There we go. Willie Lumen, thanks for joining. VT Redneck. Now, VT is at Virginia Tech, maybe? Let's see here. Who else do we have? We got Diggin' Dave in the house. What's up, Diggin' Dave? That man hunts more coins than anybody on YouTube. That is crazy amount of coins he goes through. Old Bell, good to see you. Hello. Yeah, I wish it was proof enders on this thing. It's all 2020. Well, most of these are 2021s on both sides, so should be interesting. But hey, Transit Dave, how are you? I still have rolls of coins that I'd never sent you. They're all like 2022 Phillies that you asked for, but they're sitting in a box here. I haven't forgotten about you. And I think it is true. Other than maybe Rob finds treasure, Dave, I think you may be the second highest coin roll count in the community. Because you're like, I'm not hunting one box of quarters. I'm hunting 30. That's going in this video. So it's pretty cool, though. You do a good job. So, but did you guys see my penny video today? If you haven't, you got to check that out. I think I found a really cool coin today. I'm really excited about it. I hope it is what I think it is. And I've never really wanted to get something graded as much as that particular coin, wherever I put it. Oh, it's over there. I can show it to you guys if you want to see it. But yeah, definitely check out my penny video from today because that was pretty cool. Really excited to find that. It does suck to go through $25 worth of pennies and not find a single wheat penny, though. That's pretty tough. So, dude, this is pretty cool. 10 of you, 11 of you in here, and I just threw this up. So that's pretty cool. Thanks for coming over and checking it out. Where's my, do I have everything I need? I got glasses, I got that, I got my scale, got my garbage can. Hey, Coin Silver, how are you? Welcome to the chat. I haven't really started hunting anything yet. I'm just over here running my mouth. K-Dab, what's going on? What is going on? Good to see everybody. So none of y'all saw my penny video. So Digging Dave, 4 W's to your collection. You've got to be up to like, what, 110 now? Something like that? 104? I got like 20. Utah Coin Hunter, what's going on, man? So Transit Dave says it looked good to him. I think it's going to be a good 89 reverse on that 88. And I just from the comments, I mean, when looking at it, I think it might be like a MS62. A couple of folks in chat said the same thing, kind of like MS60 to 63. I'm you know, like I said, I'm chomping at the bit to get a real grade on that thing. Well, Rick, I've just ruined it for you. I mean, it's not a great video, but I found a 1988 Philly with the 89 reverse on it, and an MS63 graded. That thing's like $245 or something like that. So. And I do not have much of Nightbot set up. So if somebody did a exclamation donate, because that's what Nightbot just said, I didn't set that up. So, hey, Joey Brown, how are you? How are you? Flying Dutchman, good to see you. And just so you guys know, Rick's here. He's not giving any silver away today. So he gave it all away on the first. He has no more silver to give away. He's done. That was a lot of fun, by the way, Rick. I had a really good time. I didn't get to interact much because you did it. We were right in the middle of cooking dinner and everything, but I had you in my AirPod almost the whole time. So, which was pretty cool. Somehow my video got way delayed. All right, so what have I been live now for? I don't know, a couple of minutes. Let's go ahead and I'm going to just start opening some rolls. I might give some away. We'll see. I got Nightbot working. At the end of the day, if you weren't here already, like half of this box has 2021 or 2022 enders. Not real excited about this box, so I figured I would get used to live streaming again and interact with you guys a little bit because it's been a long, long time since I did a live stream, and I think I mentioned it in some comments or maybe an email the other day. I'm approaching 4K subs, so I'm going to do a 4K sub giveaway. I know I said I was going to do one at 3, and I never did it, but I'm going to do that, so I had to get back in the swing of this. So, yeah, let's open some rolls. Let's see how it goes. Now, I'm not going to do this in any particular order because there's so many 2022 rolls. Let me turn my little microphone around here. Sorry if that was loud. Hey, Lauren O'Reilly. So you're eating? Yeah, hey, watch me while we open some rolls while you eat. It's a good time had by all. I just realized I don't have a bin to pitch all this stuff in. So we're going to find a lot of 2022s. can look at these things just blazing off of there. Look at that. 2022. 22. Somebody asked if I was selling these things, and I'll be honest, I have no desire to try to sell these 2022s one at a time or by the rolls because they're so heavy to ship that I'm just not real excited about it. What are you guys doing when you get these huge boxes full of uncirculated rolls? Oh, nice. Thanks, Rick. I'd appreciate something for the 4K giveaway. I got to do something. Give me just a second. I got to grab a bin to throw these halves in. Transit Dave, take them back to the bank is exactly what I do. But somebody had asked me about it the other day, and I just kind of said, you know, I'm going to save up stuff to put under the scope for a little bit. And I take them out, I re-roll them, and I take them back to the bank because I don't have time for it. I have been known to sell rolls of like dimes and pennies and stuff like that. Obviously, you know that, Transit Dave. Because there's usually some decent money to be had in those, and you can ship those a little bit more economically. So lots of 22s. 73. We'll throw that under the scope. So Diggin' Dave. I had a box last week with a ton of NIFC. I threw them in a bag for the bank. Haha, yep. Usually keep one roll. I collect a box full. With probably take them back to the bank. Keep one of each for the book. Yeah, so I definitely do that. Yeah, I mean, pretty much every new coin that comes out now, I grab just a really nice example of each year and each mint mark. I absolutely do that, but like I said, when the new years come out for Phillies, I will throw a box, you know, I said I was going to look at those later. A box or a roll at a time on eBay if they're anything other than halves. Halves are just so heavy. You end up having to send them priority mail, and I don't want to deal with that. But I had a box of 2022 pennies this year that I ended up searching half the box for errors. The other half I think I sold for like $3 a roll to somebody in California on eBay, and they paid shipping. So I did pretty well. Like, what is that? It ended up being like 13, 14 rolls. Do I have that right? No, it was like 25 rolls for $3 a piece. That wasn't so bad. Diggin' Dave, your NIFC comment. I know when I first got into coin roll hunting, I kept every single NIFC. And at some point, I looked at my thing and I had like several $100s worth of NIFCs and just said, I got to take these back. So I made two or three sets of books with them. These are all 21s now. Those are all 21s and 22s. But I made a couple of sets of books with them and then tossed all the rest back. 22, 71. Garbage. Son of a silver stacker, welcome to the chat. What's up, Brian Robinson? Thanks for showing up. We're just hanging out, doing some $50 for those of you that are new to the stream. I haven't live streamed in months and just wanted to get back in the swing of it. And so we're just hanging out here today while I hunt a box. It's mainly full of 2021s and 2022 Phillies. Oh my God, Rick, your shipping was $264. Now, is that direct from the Postal Service? Or was that you printing out your own from Pirate Ship? Hey there, Darlene Jones Nelson. Thanks for showing up. This was just sort of an impromptu hunt because I had a bunch of these in a box. Hang on. I don't know if that's... I'm actually in so close you can't see it. But we got a bunch of 21s and a bunch of 22s. So I couldn't make myself make a video out of this and thought I would practice my live stream skills. Some more 21s and 88. And some junk. So yeah, had you taken all that stuff to the direct to the post office, you probably would have spent 20% more than that. So glad to hear you're using Pirate Ship. That's a great program to do your shipping. I even do all my Christmas stuff with that. I mean, I pretty much exclusively use that. Unless I sell stuff on eBay and it's the same price to do eBay shipping versus Pirate Ship, I'll do eBay's shipping. So that was a 71D. I'm just not going to look at it. All 22s. Hey, I don't know how to say that. Shakerin? Shakerin. You just got home from work and sat down to see your live stream. Is this working? It is working. I hope. Let's get rid of that. That's no fun. You know, I just got the 2023 Red Book. Somebody had said earlier that the 2021s and 22s weren't NIFCs. I want to say the 22 book indicated that they still were, even though we know the mint just flooded the market with them. I did not look in the 23 Red Book to see if they were still claiming that they were NIFCs or not. Because I know I got in an argument in comments sometime this year whether they were NIFCs or not. I wouldn't so much call it an argument, but traded some comments, and I just was like, hey, this is what Red Book says, and the person kept saying, well, they're not NIFCs, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm just telling you what Red Book says. So Shakerin wants to buy some dollar crimpers. If you want to sell a roll of 22, you say 22/$2, I'll give you $20 for the roll plus shipping. If I can find a 22 roll in here, I can't. The problem is I can't guarantee these are going to be 2022 throughout. If I have one that's 2022 on both ends, it's about the best I can do. So far, these have been kind of dirty rolls, mostly 22s when they're like this, but no guarantee. But I'm happy to sell them to you if you want me to pull a roll or two. Hey, Coin Crusader, I hope I find something too. Emil G2, how are you? The 23 Red Book. I've got a link to my affiliate link for the 23 Red Books in the description of all my videos. And just so you guys know, I say that a lot in my videos. I want you to know how little I make on my Amazon. I haven't done like a transparency video in a while, but I make like 1 or 2% of the sale price, it feels like, of most things. Like, I think when you guys buy these digital pluggable scopes, I make like $1.50 or something. But like, people will buy the coin capsules, and I make like 27 cents or something when people buy those. So every little bit helps. So I'm not saying don't do it, but I make so little on it, but I continue to plug it because it is nice to get that little 10 or 15 or 20 bucks a month from sales. But so Shaker, and the problem is this had what looked like a 22 on both ends, but they're dirty in the middle. So that would be my fear in selling you a roll. You wouldn't get a complete roll of 22s. But if you want me to pull one, let me know, and I can do my best, but just can't guarantee it. I have been getting a lot of boxes lately of 21s and 22s. And if you want me to pull you a roll next time I do it, or next time I get unfortunate enough to see that, I will pull one for you and email you, and you can pay me then, and I'll ship it off to you. I'm much more comfortable when the entire box is the same. Retired old guy. Have you got, well, there's no way you got your silver yet, but congratulations on winning all that silver the other night. Coin Crusader, if I did say hi, good to see it. Yeah, this was impromptu, bud. I literally, I'm practicing. It's been forever since I've done a live stream, and I literally posted my thumbnail and went live like that, and then futzed with my setup for a little while because it wasn't working, and we're doing this box here. So Emil still loves Benji's. I love Benji's too, Emil. Cool. Just pull a roll 22. I'll buy it. Let me know. Just keep watching. Very good. Smack that like, folks. Yeah, do that. Tell your friends. And if you haven't, go watch my penny video. I love my penny video. Now, see, that would have been a good roll maybe to send you. That's mostly all 22s. Let's see. That's 4. It's a 73. We'll look at that. Oh, these are 21s. This is even dirty. These are 21s and 22s. So I can't even, I'm not even going to count it because they're dirty. Mostly 22s though. This is roll 10. You guys can't see it, but we're on roll 10. And we do have a double ender here. Hey, Joey Brown, welcome to the chat. That's how you found out I was live. Well, thanks, bud. Yeah, my penny video, I was struggling with that one because it just wasn't that interesting. I had a ton of copper, probably the most copper I've gotten out of 25 rolls in a long, long time. If I remember, I had like 3 pounds, 10 ounces of copper out of 25 rolls, which is just a ton of copper. And tell you what, I got down to those last, I don't remember how many it was, handful of rolls, and to find that transitional penny and the shape it was in, man, I was floored. I know it probably didn't come across in my video, but I took a good 15 or 20 minutes once I saw it to go back and look at doubledie.com and look at PCGS and look at Facebook, or not Facebook, but eBay, and, you know, just look at other pictures, see what they were selling for. Like, it's not often you find a penny that's potentially worth $200 or $300. Although, Rick, I think you did the other day, or maybe it was you digging, Dave. One of you guys, I thought, found like a $200 or $300 penny too, like an 88 wide AM or something like that. One of you guys did it. You guys still hear me? The chat went kind of quiet, just making sure. Man, this is a lot of 22s. Your trash is mine. So Shaker, and I feel that way. So throughout my channel, I've said it on videos that I feel very fortunate to be in a big city sometimes because coins have been really plentiful. Even during COVID, while I did struggle a little bit, I could always kind of find coins from a bank, maybe not always the banks that I was used to getting them from. And then the last year of COVID, I had a short spell of just not being able to get coins. People were ordering and they just weren't coming in. And then recently, just like more than half of the boxes that come in are all 2021s and 2022s. And I just can't make videos of that. There's nothing to see. There's nothing for me to find. And I know it's not going to be entertaining for you. And if I'm not going to have fun doing it, and I don't think I can entertain you, then I don't want to do it. That said, I still do post my skunk videos because I want to be real on this channel. I want people to know that if you do this, that skunks happen a lot. But so do the big silver hits. They happen a lot too. So, Paul Casper, welcome to the chat. We're just hunting some rolls. I'm just playing with my live stream setup. So, you know, nothing fancy tonight. Big O, good to see you. Paul Casper is saying hello again to everybody. It was you. Yep. It was a 99 wide AM and MS63 or 64. Now, Rick, are you thinking about sending that in to, hopefully you don't mind me calling you Rick on the channel, but Hunting Southwest Ohio, you looking to get that thing graded for real, or are you just going to hang on to it saying it's a 63 or 64? Because I trust you. I'm just curious if you're going to get it graded. Well, there's a lot of YouTubers in Texas. Rolando, there's a lot of YouTubers in Texas who are coin roll hunting. And when you got, you know, as many YouTubers as there are, and I mean, you know, I mean, like RF Rob Finds Treasures, one of them. I mean, that dude pumps through the coins. And, you know, I wish I had the time to do the kind of volume he does, but there's a lot of hunters out there and they're going through tons and tons of boxes. Let's see here. Metal Dragon Braveheart, good to see you. You found a Business Strike S Mint Ozark Mountain in your quarter rolls tonight. Nice. Those S Business Strikes for me they're coming up a lot. I have lots and lots of them. I wish, for as low mintage as they are, I would think they would be $7, $8, $9, $10 coins, and they're like $1 on eBay, maybe $2. So Hunting Southwest Ohio, you are going to submit it. Let me know when you get around to that and figure out the price structure, because I know the more coins you send in, sort of the cheaper it can be. Because you save on the shipping and stuff. So let me know what you plan to do, because I have maybe, and we might look at it a little bit tonight, depending on how much time I have and how quickly I move through this. I have a couple of Morgan dollars I'm thinking about getting graded, and I do have this penny now. So, I mean, I'm happy to throw those things in the mail over to you if you want to combine them in with your submission. That might be kind of cool, and it'd save us both probably a little bit of money, because I don't have a membership and I don't want to pay for one. So let me know, though, before you send anything off. Rolando, I said hi. Yeah, you get a hello, man. What's going on? I answered your question a minute ago about Texas, too. So how are you? Black dot in the ear or in the beak? I missed something. Oh, wait, Shakerin says, where is it? That coin with the black dot in his ear is mine. Before the other mark I put on him as a black guy in front of the eagle face. And yes, I'm very entertained. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, bud. Sorry. Thanks, Joey Brown. Let's hit that like button. Sorry, just catching up on the chat here. So Coin Crusader says, last couple of weeks for me in Maryland have been good for silver. 21 and $2.50 boxes. That's fantastic, Coin Crusader. I've gotten more silver in the last 2 months from tellers than I have from boxes. Easily from getting more from tellers than boxes. Rick knows this because I told him the 2 boxes that were part of this, they were sister boxes to this. I started filming and they were just like this one. And I did find 1 silver, like in the next to last roll, and I didn't film any of it because I was so irritated that they were all 2021s. So 17 silvers for Big O. What's up, the Bensters? How are you? Hopefully my state isn't too bad. Stopped by the bank, saw what they had just in rolls, saw a War Nickel Ender and picked it up right away. That's awesome. I love War Nickels, man. What's going on, Jimmy Lacari? How are you, sir? Dude, I was talking about you the other day. You used to win every giveaway in the land. I don't think I've seen you win one in a while. I hope it comes back around. And I made a joke in the chat, Rick. You probably didn't see it, but I haven't figured out how to win anything on your channel. I was on there the other night when you had like 28 giveaways and there were 30 of us in the chat, and I don't think I won anything. So one of these days I'm gonna crack that code. See here. I'm almost caught up on the chat. Sorry, guys. Last penny I sent to PCGS took 14 months to get graded. You don't want to use mine. That's funny. Well, Rolando, I ask every time I go in a bank, and I go in, as you guys can probably imagine, I go into a lot of banks. And I get told no 99% of the time. That they just don't have anything. But you know, that one time every 2 or 3 months when they do, and they hand you $2, $3, $4, $5 worth of 90% silver, it's worth it. So I always ask. I just don't always come up with it. I think Enigma finds more silver in one roll at a time. Find more silver in the coin machines at Walmart than I do from tellers. What's up, Mo Money Inc.? I must have missed you, buddy. Sorry about that. Good to see you, man. Got some Happy New Year's. I will eventually. I hope so, Rick. FedEx parks outside of Jimmy's house 24/7. That's funny. You're going to the fun coin show this week in Orlando. You know, that is something I have never done. I have never been to a coin show. And all this time I've done YouTube and all the coin collecting and silver stacking I do, I have never been to a coin show. I was invited a couple of times. There was somebody local who invited me out, and just that day I think my son had a basketball game or something, and I couldn't make it. and I've just never been to a coin show. I want to go, just never made it happen. $30 banks. Rolando says he's been to 30 banks in a day. You get used to going once or twice. Now, not even that. My work's been kicking my butt, and my travel has been kicking my butt. So I used to try to get to banks a couple times a week, and now I'm lucky to get there on Friday, and I hit a few banks on Saturday. So today I snuck out at lunch and grabbed these because I knew they were sitting in the vault, and they were going to order more for me this week, so I didn't want them sitting there taking up vault space, because when I do that, and they go, he's already got boxes, so don't order him any. So I just like to make sure the vault's clear when it comes time to order. Southern Metal found a lot of silver tonight. Yeah, Southern Metal, I want to say, is north of me. He's not too far from where I live, but not close enough that I'd ever run into him. And he goes through his spurts too of finding nothing and finding a ton of stuff. So Lauren O'Reilly, if you got anybody that works at a bank, I would be talking to them. You got an in to get boxes. You got an in for somebody who can go through and talk to the tellers from time to time or ask them to pull stuff. I mean, I wish I had a relative or a friend that worked at a bank. That'd be wonderful. For those of you wondering, these are all just like 71s and 74s and 77s. I'll scope those later. So Rolando, I've heard that about banks charging fees to accept coins. I've gotten the back off, if you will, from a couple of branches in the last year that they've basically said either I needed to slow down or stop entirely bringing them coin. They've never come to me and said, I've got to pay a fee. Now, the Wells Fargo, I do a lot of business with Wells Fargo, and they do have a business account that you can pay like $4.99 a month and return all your coins in bags. And you get, I think it's up to like $4,000 per denomination for free for that $4.99. But after you go over that, they charge you per bag to deposit. But I re-roll all of my coins except for pennies from time to time. I'll take them to like Publix or Walmart and drop them in the coin machine. And, I'll pay whatever the 10 or 11% fee just because I don't feel like re-rolling pennies. That does happen from time to time. But halves and quarters I re-roll. And I do have that Royal Sovereign it's like 4 rolls per denomination that it'll machine count out for me and make it really easy to re-roll. I did a video on it. So really re-rolling pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters is not hard. Halves are more of a pain in the butt than the other 4 denominations because I don't have a machine to do it. What's up, American Stacker? I think first time I've seen you in the chat. If I missed you, apologies. Silver being slim in Alabama. My Loomis boxes have not produced silver in months and months. My Brinks have slowed way down. Shakerin says, do you have any problems with bank tellers going through currency before giving it to the customers? They're collecting all the good stuff. So I know for a fact I've been into some Wells Fargo branches and I don't go back to them when I see the tellers are smart. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I was like 30 miles from my house and dropped off a box of halves. And as soon as I gave it to the teller, he looked at me and said, is there any silver in here? Like he knew. And the fact that I returned a whole box, he probably knew that I was a coin roll hunter. But he was the kind of guy that I'm sure he goes through every roll of coin he gets. He goes through every dollar he gets looking for silver certificates and red labels and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, some banks just have tellers that really know what they're looking for. The Bensters, yeah. So yeah, that does stink. Especially if you took the time to re-roll everything and then they charged you a fee to put them in a machine. That would be pretty terrible. I'm still looking around for a branch that has a free coin machine near me that accepts halves. I've found a few that accept everything but halves, and I don't want to join a new bank unless they're going to have a machine that I can dump all these $half into. And my Fifth Third banks all used to have coin machines that took halves. And one by one, they started breaking and not getting replaced. And then sometime like probably a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, Fifth Third, I think, removed all of their coin roll machines in Georgia, as far as I know. So I have, that was the only bank that had coin roll machines for me for free. So let's see here. Rolando says this was PNC and they refuse to take them even if rolled unless you accept a fee. Wow. David Carlisle, good to see you, man. Welcome to the chat. Diggin' Dave says no banks in my area accept rolled coins, so it's weird. I just spread out where I dump in coin machines. Now, Diggin' Dave, are you paying a fee or are you just spreading it out? I mentioned the back off earlier. Like I said, I had one branch tell me, I showed up at the door and they turned me away, and it was a branch of a bank that I normally never go in, which I thought it was really weird. And then one of my regular Wells Fargos about a year ago, the bank manager kind of looked me in the face and said, we're going to take these, but you need to stop. I gave them about a 6 months reprieve, and now I will sparingly take them a box of usable coin, meaning I will not take them $half, but I will take them quarters, nickels, dimes, or pennies, because they can always get rid of those pretty easy. But those are the only two back-offs I've ever had. Anything to look for on a 1973? So the 1973, you guys help me out here. I think the 73D, if I'm not wrong, has a double die obverse that shows up in the word trust. So that is something that I do pull and I look for if the 73s look pretty good. Let's see here. Hunter, how do you pronounce that? Busher? Nice to see you, Hunter. Welcome to the chat. M&T Bank has coin machines. That's awesome. No fee if you have an account. Well, Diggin' Dave, that's awesome because you do go through a ton of coins. And I know I'm joking with you about that, but I mean, seriously, you pump out a ton of content. I don't know why I'm looking at this right now, but I just decided to throw it under. You pump out a ton of content. I know you must go through a ton of coins. So for the banks, and especially if you're spreading it out, I guess, but for the banks to not say anything in 5 years is pretty good. Well, 1940p Walking Liberty $half, a nice one to get there, Rolando. Mo Money, how can banks charge you fee for coins when they tell all of us there is a coin shortage? Yeah, I know. You guys are up in New Jersey, and I think you guys have been getting hit with that coin shortage nonsense for months. I honestly don't know what that's all about, man. I really don't. It's been forever. I was saying earlier in the stream that I really have only had a few issues over the last 2 years getting coins, and they've been fairly short-lived. That's a beautiful 1971. That would be probably mint state. Be nice if that had a DDO. But my issue, what was I going to say? Coin shortage. My issue lately is that I get boxes and I can't do anything with them. I had a pickup a couple of weeks ago where my halves were fine, but I got like 2 boxes of nickels, a box of dimes, and a box of pennies, and everything that wasn't $half were all 2022s. So it's like I got all that stuff. I literally picked it up from one bank and drove it to another bank and deposited it. And no one else had boxes for me. So I was, couldn't make any content that week. So it's pretty bad. Beachside likes shiny. Good to see you. Your closest Chase Bank told me they don't have space for more of my coins. Now, is that Beachside? Is that because you've taken back so many coins and they've stuck them in the vault and not sent them back to the Fed or to Brinks or Loomis or wherever? Or they just don't have space in their vault because they got so much other crap in there? You got a 1976 San Francisco proof quarter in a roll. I've gotten quite a number of those. That's pretty cool, though, if it's your first. I love first of anything is cool. So Beachside, there is a bank, Synovia or something near me. Not all of them have coin machines, but they're the same way. They do $200 for free, and then I think it's a 10% fee. And again, I've never bothered to use them because, I go through $200, a lot. and I just couldn't afford to pay the fee. So not for me. So Rolando, I've talked to people about that if I could rewind and actually have the money back in like the 80s to be a coin roll hunter, dude, that would have been so much fun to go into a bank in like 1983 and get in a box of halves or something. And then had the sense to hang on to all the silver. That would have been nice. So yeah, and for those of you that don't know, or at least all the banks in my area, what I have been told is banks do pay a fee both to order coin and to return it. And most of the time it's the cost of doing business. And I don't think they pay a very big fee. And they know they're having to order for their regular business customers anyway, so they're coin roll hunters. They don't necessarily care. But some of the smaller branches or branches that don't do a lot of business, if you're running through $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 worth of coin every week and they're having to pay to get it and to send it back, I can see how they'd start getting real frustrated and push back. Or they'd fill their vault with it and do one big send back. And beachside, that may be what they're doing, is they're getting to a mass where they'll pay the fee and send it all back. What's up, Halftime? What's going on, man? No, I got almost a whole box of 2021s and 22s. We're just hanging out and chatting, talking about the world. I would ask you how the weather is, but you're probably just about to go talk about it, so we can watch you on TV. Yeah, it's Digging Dave. I think a lot of banks are doing it, and I think, again, it just depends on where you live and the banks. Rolando says, one time I went to a bank and I asked for halves, and this one dude was working there and was saving all the coins he could find, but ended up getting fired, and the bag was left behind. Ouch. So, I've mentioned this a couple of, and I'll just share with you guys a little bit. So I've mentioned it a couple of times, either in my community posts or in my videos. But we spent 10, call it 11 days in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the week before Christmas and a couple of days after Christmas, and in Banff, which is a Rocky Mountain ski town north of Calgary, about 2 hours north of Calgary. It was minus 24 degrees Fahrenheit plus wind chill the first 2 days we were there. The warmest it got on our entire trip, I think, was like 7 or 8 degrees Fahrenheit, which if you're a Celsius person, that is basically negative temperatures for 10 days. And I live in Georgia, where we don't get negative temperatures. So if you've never been in minus 20 plus degree weather, that is something you should experience just for your lungs once or twice, or the nose hairs in your nose. It's pretty amazing how quickly stuff will freeze. I'm just... Halftime says why I always buy bags from. So Halftime, I need to talk to you. I cannot find anyone to sell me a bag. Credit unions that have them won't sell them to me because I'm not a member. The Publixes, the Walmarts, all the places that have coin machines that I do know, like the retail places, will not sell me bags. Banks that have bags of coins will not sell them to me because they're tied to business accounts, so they have to go back and be counted. I cannot get a bag. I need to understand how to get one. So shoot me an email, let me know something, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you about getting bags. So beachside, it's funny. You asked about, do I ever buy anything for tellers? I think about it all the time. Like, I should swing by and get like some Dunkin' Donuts or a thing of coffee, or swing by Chick-fil-A or McDonald's and get a bunch of breakfast sandwiches and drop them off. And I have never, ever done it. I'm always very kind to my tellers. I'm always very jovial. I treat them like they're my friends. Whenever I'm there, I tell them I'm their last priority. I will wait behind 100 people to get what I need. Like, I don't want to create any friction or pain for them. I've walked into a bank that had boxes for me, and they were swamped. And I just said, you know, I usually will tell them, I'll come back later when you have less people. I don't ever want to be a bother to anyone at any of the banks that treat me well, but I've never gone to I've never brought them food or coffee or any of that, even though I think about it all the time. I should, and I just haven't. But they all know my name. They all know what, you know, they're all very, very kind to me. So Halftime says, welcome to my world. I don't know where you're from, but I know it's very cold because I've seen your Instagram pictures. And is it Instagram? I think it's Instagram. You look like you're constantly buried in snow. Coin Silver says, I need to work for Loomis. So Hunting Southwest Ohio, like when you say 3-time gift cards, what kind of gift cards? Are you doing like Starbucks or Target, or what are you doing? How much are you putting on each gift card? Just curious. It's something I need to do. I've just never done it. American Stacker, I agree with you. Trying to buy bags, Georgia, never happened. Now I know Southern Metal has a source because I've seen Southern Metal get bags. I just don't know where he's getting them from. You're the southern part of Minnesota. So halftime, my daughter, why am I putting that in there? My daughter plays elite level volleyball. And if they make it to nationals, which they should this year, I will be in Minnesota. The tournament's in Minneapolis. So I'll be up in your neck of the woods. It'll be June, though, so it'll be nice and warm. Or at least normal. It won't be freaking freezing. Tim Hortons, Subway, etc. Cool. All right, $25. Now $25 per card, so you're dropping some coin on your tellers. Oh, dude, I'll definitely shoot you a note, probably on Instagram, halftime when I'm on my way. It's like the third weekend in June. I'll be out there. You've seen 18 inches of snow on May 3rd. That's pretty funny. That's cold. Usually by May 3rd in Georgia, it's already like 90 degrees, 95 degrees. So it's just the opposite. So I imagine buying those kinds of gifts would be very helpful. I'm just finding that I may be too close to metropolitan life to get the kind of coins that I'm looking for. And I actually had the day off. I don't know. I had a day off in early December. And I did something I normally never do, but I got in the van and drove like for about 4 hours and I went way south of town to parts of Georgia that I've just never been in. And even, you know, out in the middle of the woods, out in the middle of nowhere, most of the banks didn't have coins. And if they did, we were talking coin shortage. I did get from a couple of those banks we can give you 2 rolls of quarters and 2 rolls of nickels, and we don't have any halves. And so after about 3 hours of hearing that, I did finally start taking up every bank on their offer for 2 rolls of whatever they would give me. And I came home and tried to create a video out of it and found literally nothing. So I threw the footage away. But I did do that, hoping to get lucky kind of out in the sticks somewhere. Darth Silver Sith, what's up? Good to see you, bud. C2W83. I've never understood why people keep NIFCs besides the 87. So I know people keep them because usually they're found in really good shape and people just like to collect them because they're beautiful coins. I think people keep them to create books, but I don't understand people, and I used to be one of them, that have rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls of them because, again, there's not a lot of value in them. There's some, but not a lot. So I'm on the fence with agreeing and disagreeing with you, but I do know why people do grab them and at least hang on to a small amount of them. You buy a dozen donuts for your dump banks. And your pickup banks. Okay. Who said that? Emil G2 said that. I was like, you're paying off your dump banks for putting up with your crappy coins, your rejects. That's funny. Diggin' Dave. So surprisingly, a lot of banks in my area do have halves, but usually it's because it's from other coin roll hunters or collectors. I went into a bank about 30 minutes from my house and asked if they had $50, and the lady said, I got about 10 boxes of them in the vault. And I was like, ooh, really? And she said, sweetheart, they all came from a guy just like you. There's no silver in them. Literally, I didn't say a word. I just said, do you have any half dollars? And she knew I was there because I was looking for silver. And that was the end of the conversation. Thank you very much. I turned around and I walked out. But in general, you're right. Most banks, if they have halves, they've got 1 or 2 or 5 or none. And if they have a whole box, odds are they came from a coin roll hunter. So let's see here. Darth Silver says, nice variety you found. Absolutely. I'll say it again because we got 39 people in the chat. If you haven't watched my penny video today, I found a really cool penny today. It's not silver or anything, but it's worth way more than a silver. If I could find one of those in every box of pennies, I'd stop hunting half dollars. That's how much it was worth. There's a 2020. I think that's our first legit NIFC. I'm going to put that up there just for fun. Not that it matters. Lots of 21s, though. Lots of 22s. Shakerin says, do you know if banks keep track of you order of coins from one branch location and then go to the same bank? So, no. I don't think they have any way to keep track of that. And unfortunately for Wells Fargo, I most of my halves I pick up from a different bank and return my halves to what Wells Fargo gets the brunt of my half dollars at about 5 different locations. However, every other denomination, they get spread out. So even source banks for me get my lower denomination coin returns. I spread them out. So no one bank takes like thousands of dollars worth of quarters or nickels or pennies. You know, this week I'll take all my quarters, pennies, and dimes or nickels or whatever I have to the local Wells Fargo just up the street. And the next week it'll be the one that's 5 miles up the road. And the next week it'll be the one on the way to work. And because they can reuse those coins. So I don't feel bad dropping a box or two off here or there. But if I had like, you know, here's my $2,500 quarter hunt, right, where I got all those coins in one go, I would still spread those out. I wouldn't drop those all at one bank. Darth Solar Sith says, I'm honestly behind on my pastry bribes. I need to get on that. That's funny. Diggin' Dave says, I get scared to buy halves if there's more than 500. No, I agree with you. If they have 500, I typically will ask to get like 5 rolls or 10 rolls. And usually if they have to be different wrappers. So if I look, you know, if they pull 10 out and of the 10, there's 2 or 3 different types of wrappers, I might buy more of them. But if they're all the same wrapper and it's a $500 box, there's no way I'm picking them up. So I'm very similar to you on that, Diggin' Dave. Every now and then, though, I'll go in a bank and there'll be 7 or 8 or 9 rolls, and I'll buy those. And every now and then you get lucky. So most of the silver I come across comes from the videos you guys post on YouTube. Rolando, that's pretty funny. And lately, most of my silver also comes from what I watch on YouTube, unfortunately. I think I do have. So I mentioned to you guys earlier, I found a 67 in one of the sister boxes. This was actually it. Wasn't even a very nice one, but there it is. That was my last 2023 or 2022 find. I think I found that New Year's Eve or something like that. And I didn't post the video because I didn't take a video because the box was just like this one. So Coin Silver, you're right. They'll see all your transactions, but they won't know necessarily that you picked up coins from one bank and brought them to another. They'll see you got 500. They might see you got 500 quarters. I don't know if they keep it to that level of transaction and that you returned 500 quarters, but they don't know it's literally from the same branch. Because like I said, I might get a $500 box of quarters from a Brinks bank and $500 from a Loomis bank and then return it all to yet a different Loomis bank. They don't know where I got all that money. Yeah, so halftime, I think what you said about how they think it's awesome what you do, I've let every source bank anyway know what I'm doing. And they're all very excited. Anytime I come in, they ask if I found anything interesting lately. They all get giddy when I talk about the stuff I find. And every now and then I bring it in and I'll lay it out on the counter and explain to them why it's special. And I mean, eventually I'm educating them to start taking stuff away from me, but I just feel like it excites them if I let them in on the secret, let them in on the game, let them in on the hobby, than it is trying to pretend like, you know, I'm doing something nefarious or something they wouldn't understand, or, you know, be real tight-lipped about it. Let's see here. So halftime, when you say self-serve coin machines, are you paying a fee when you return all that stuff? Mo Money, what's your question here? New Jersey, different branches of the same bank are aware of orders from surrounding branches. Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, maybe like Wells Fargo has a better track of me than I realized, but I would be surprised. Rolando, don't make fun of Dave. He's going to keep on digging, and that's okay. He can keep digging. I'm going to keep hunting. Your 2023 total is, well, halftime, my current 2023 total is at 0. Let me put it over there. 0. So if you, American Silver Stacker, or American Stacker, if you were just doing quarters, yeah, I mean, that's easy. Just tell them you run a car wash. They'd believe you. So some roll hunters, I think, are kind of sneaky about what they do. Every now and then I'll get a little snarky with like a new person who I know is going to be there a while, and I'll slowly let them in on it. So I took in probably like $1,800 worth of coins the other day, and the lady behind the counter was like, "Oh my gosh, how long did it take you to save up all that?" And I looked at her, I said, "Not long at all." Because I literally picked it up probably, 2 days before that and didn't save any of it. I bought all of it. So I was like, it didn't take me long at all to save all this up. So C2W83, yeah, I belong to one credit union, and it's a national one, and the one by me, actually all the ones by me, do not have coin machines. And so that's unfortunate, so I don't have anything there. And the other credit unions of Georgia do have coin machines, but of the branches I've been in, none of them take $50. So I have not been able to do that. But I do think, in general, if you're trying to find a coin machine, the credit union's the way to go, because most of them have it. So I have like 15 rolls left, guys. 14 or 15 rolls. Let's see here. I have 15 rolls left. And sorry I'm doing this slow. I'm just hanging out. I'm enjoying it. Love chatting with you guys. So no fee, member of the bank. Okay. Oh, Rolando says, sick to see some of the finds you share. That Stone Mountain coin was amazing. The Booker coin was good. I think you're talking to me, or maybe you're talking to Diggin' Dave, but I've actually found those things, many of those things too, as well. I've had some amazing finds, honestly, in the short time I've done this. I still think my favorite old find has been that Seated Liberty quarter, because that thing was probably XF condition for being in a bank box. I thought that was pretty cool. And my recent favorite old find was the Stone Mountain, Georgia commemorative half. That thing was probably AU. I want to say I took it to the coin shop and they kind of confirmed that it was kind of like AU 50 or AU 55. Funny thing was, the guy said, I got a whole box of those. And he said, none of mine look as good as that. And he was shocked I found it in a box. $17 silvers for two. Well, hunting Southwest Ohio, you had a great stream. Yesterday? I think it was yesterday I was watching, or the day before. Yeah, you found like 9 silvers in one box. That was a great hunt. That was actually the January 1st stream, I think. Because I kept trying to get rolls and you wouldn't ever let me win. So we had 16 brand new $50 in that roll. 80, 83 with an FG. Lauren O'Reilly says, I'm enjoying watching you open these. Yeah, I struggle with that. I'm sure any of you guys that create content. It's like, how much of a video, if I post as many coin roll hunts, especially as I do, how many people really want to watch me open every roll? You know, don't you kind of just want to see the finds? But I agree there's something to seeing the paper being ripped open and finding that silver edge for the first time. Like, I love that when I can catch it on camera. Unfortunately, because of the way I film now, I normally don't catch it the first time, you know, on the original opening. I have to bring you in after I find it. But then opening every roll is very cumbersome and time consuming. So I kind of struggle. And that's why I've been doing a lot of my videos lately where I just open like 5 rolls at a go and edge hunt it real quick with you. Because I figure that's kind of a little bit of the best of both worlds. You don't get to see all 50 rolls, but you get to see a lot of them. And you don't suffer through, you know, a full skunk box of watching me rip paper. So, but who knows? Maybe I'll change the format here in the future. Blah. Blah. American Stacker, always enjoy your hunts, man. I appreciate that. I really do. I try to make enjoyable hunts. Even when they're bad, I try to make them enjoyable. Actually, my favorite part of doing is when I can educate people on it. And I think sometimes people miss it because they are skimming through the video, and I'll have like a minute or two of really important educational stuff, right? And because people are skimming through it to see if I found silver or anything crazy, they miss that educational part. But for me, anytime I find something where either I learn something new or I feel like I'm imparting knowledge on other people, that's one of the main reasons I love doing this, because I just like teaching people stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. Dark Silver Sith, if you ever want to come by the house and help me roll $50, you're welcome to, because I go nuts re-rolling $50. And I think I showed this on previous videos. I 3D printed these little jobbies to help. These are actually really helpful. I have about 15 of them now. And the paper fits in there, and you can drop halves in there, and it's kind of perfect height for a full roll. And these things are actually pretty nice. But still, you still have to handle $500 worth of halves as you're re-rolling them. So, but that's something else I kind of made for myself to simplify my life. Almost a whole roll of brand new halves. I'm not even going to look at them. The rest of those are all brand new. What do we have left? An 84, 93. So 71 we'll put under the scope a little bit later. So let's see here. Hey, it's relaxing. I hope so. Any word about that BU Morgan dollar from AppMex? So yeah, I reached out to them today. Their initial response was, we have a 7-day return window, and those were delivered on the 19th, which was the day I left for Canada. And I told their support, I said, I get that, but unfortunately I had left the country that same day and didn't open it until like 4 days ago. Now, I didn't drop it on them that I have a YouTube channel and can prove that I opened it 4 days ago because I posted the video like the day after I opened them. I didn't have to go that far because they said, hey, we're going to refer you to our returns department, let them know the situation, and you should receive an email in the next couple of days. So if AppMex is the company that I'm used to dealing with, I'm hoping to get a very positive email in the next couple of days letting me know that I can return that Morgan. Because while I agree with like Rob Finds Treasure and many of you in the comments that it probably is low mint state, I'm just not happy with it. For the price I paid. Had I picked that up for like $35 or something, or $40, I probably could get over it. But I think I spent $53 or $54 on that, and I'm unhappy with it, and I don't want it. So I'd like to return it. So Diggin' Dave, yeah, I've watched a lot of your videos. Yeah, and you pretty much just bring people in, and I'm sure you do get called fake. I've been called fake. I had a guy tell me that I found a coin, and he's like, I saw Rob Finds Treasure find that same coin yesterday. You just made this up, blah, blah, blah. I mean, people will say whatever in the comments. But I have never cheated you guys on a roll or a find in my life. Everything you see is I found it in the box. That's how I roll. I just asked a daughter who works at a bank if she can get me a $50 box. She's going to check tomorrow. I haven't really hunted anything other than some rolls of quarters. Well, $50 are easy to hunt. Lauren, I do have a document in the description of this video and every other video that has all the things that you're looking for. Feel free to shoot me an email if you have questions. Happy to help. But halves are really, really easy to hunt because there's only about, I say, 8 or 10 things you're looking for. But, I mean, really, when you bucketize them, I mean, you've got NIFCs, you've got silver, you've got a handful of no FGs and DDOs to look for the main stuff. Now, if you want to go on doubledies.com or Variety Vista, nearly every $50 has a potential double die, but they're so infrequent and rare and more or less not worth a lot of money. Coin roll hunters don't spend a lot of time looking for them. So, let's see here. Clad proof still. I love clad proofs, Rolando. I say I have every clad proof I've ever found. That's not true. I sold maybe some to Transit Dave if he's still here. There was someone probably a year ago. I sold a bunch of my proof. It was almost a whole run of proof clads. But I still have probably 5 or 6 rolls of proof clads I've found over the years. Halftime, your fakes are from your shorts. I've gotten that too in my shorts. That sounds funny. But yeah, I think in a 1-minute video where you're just trying to summarize, it's easy to tell people it's fake. Brock Hensley. Hey, I don't think I said hi earlier. And Papo Giorgio, I can't remember if I said hi earlier. Welcome to the chat. But Brock Hensley says, what's your thought on hunting quarters through like laundromats and car washes? I think it's a great place to get quarters to hunt. You're very likely to find old proofs, San Francisco business strikes and proofs, as well as silver, unless you know the owners of those places hunt their quarters as well. I did a laundromat quarter hunt in 22 and did very, very well. And I know they were laundromat quarters because the bank I went to, they said literally the laundromat customer, they had just brought in like $2,000 worth of quarters. And it took me two trips, but I bought all of them and found a bunch of W's. Well, a handful. So Diggin' Dave, when you hit an epic box like that, a 64, yeah, you record every roll and you find a way to edit it so it's not a 2-hour video. But yeah, the couple of epic boxes I've had, I end up recording every roll and cutting around it because when you find that many silvers, you just want to show people. So I agree with you. So yeah, Papa Giorgio, you're right. There a lot of people that are calling it BS and fake. They're just trying to get a rise. I agree. Trolls will be trolls, but it's still, when you take pride in what you do or you're real proud of what you do and people start questioning your authenticity, it stings a little bit and it's really easy to get defensive, right? I always try to be polite, but it's easy to get defensive. Sorry, I'm doing this weird now. I'm just kind of pulling the non-2021s and 22s out. There's a 71D. I got about 30 coins over here for us to look for some varieties here at the end. It's an ugly 73. I'm not going to look. Well, that document for the halves, Lauren, it's got everything in it. And I did just today add a link to the penny mat that I showed off in my penny video today. Compliments again of Jinx Brothers, who is now Nacho Stuff. He's not doing his coin channel anymore because he's also struggling to get coins. So Tyler Lane, welcome to the chat. You say you get all your quarters from the car wash. Finding lots of stuff there. Yeah, I think it's a great place to go because you're getting quarters from all walks of life there. Lots of people swing by car washes to get a quick rinse, right? The block button is easy on YouTube. Yeah, I know. Halftime face reveal at 4K. I think you said that at 3K too. You can keep laughing out loud, buddy. Although I've gotten the okay from the wife to show my face. I just don't think it's that nice of a face, so it's probably better left off camera. I'll be honest. But you keep asking. I appreciate it. And I would say you should do a face reveal, but you're on TV every night, so you've done your face reveal. I don't know if it's every night, but often enough. So yeah, Lauren, the penny mats, it's a link inside of the document you downloaded. So if you keep scrolling through the pages, there's a link down there in the penny section. Don't car washes need their quarters for when people... Yeah, but I mean, car wash gets several $1,000s worth of quarters in a week, and they call out what they want to take to the bank, and they keep what they need to run their shop. But yeah, they need their quarters. Neither is yours, but they still put your mug on air. That's funny. I take your crimpers and drill a hole through the center, then I put a long... So, Shaker, and just so you know, I actually did make, at least for the quarter, and I think I did it on a live stream a long time ago. I actually 3D made those crimpers with the drill bit attachment already part of the crimper. But I couldn't put my name on the back of them once you do that. So I didn't make a whole set of them. But I think I still have the quarter crimper. So, you know, it's a quarter crimper like this, right? But there's a drill bit extension that comes off of here made out of the same 3D plastic material. Actually, give me a second. I'll grab it. I'll show it to you. I got it in the other room. All right, sorry about that. So I lied. I couldn't find the quarter one. Here's the penny one. So you can see I built the drill bit right into it. And it works really, really well. I use it when all the copper I keep, I won't say all of it, a lot of the copper I keep when I roll it up, I'll actually crimp the ends of them with these because it's just stuff I'm not going to touch for years. So, but yeah, what you said, I just did it as part of the 3D print. Rolando says, yeah, so it's the black silvers that are tough to find. That's why most coin roll hunters look at every coin, because you can miss them. Let's see here. Neither is mine. Yeah, take your crimpers. Got to run. Hey, Emil G2, thanks for coming. Maybe I missed your exit, but thanks for hanging out with me. Rick, you look great, buddy. You look fine. I don't like being on camera. I hate getting pictures taken, so I'm just weird that way. Yeah, I bet the Bensters, I'm sure your dad does wish he hunted quarters back then. Papo Giorgio, $50 in pennies takes forever. So Shaker, and let me know. They're a little more painful to print, but if you want me to, I can send you this one if you want it. They're not that hard to make. You have to print them, like, if I recall, like this, and you have to dig all of the bridge stuff off the bottom. They're just it's more painful to print them and finish them, but I'll see if I got a couple of these. I'll let you know. Shoot me an email. Oh, so at the beginning of this live stream, I did mention that most of these rolls weighed out heavy, which they did. And I think it was because it had so many brand spanking new $half in it that didn't have any wear, because most of them were 226.0 or 226.1. And we haven't found anything. Not even a 40%er. And like I said, I think Shaker, and you were asking about the rolls of the 2021s and 22s. When if I get another full box, I'll grab a roll for you. I don't want to send you one of these dirty ones. As you can see, none of them have been full rolls. So we only have, I think, 5 rolls left. And then we can do whatever you guys want to do. $19.59 silver in your quarter box. Nice. I found a box in 22. I had 4 silvers in it, and I don't think I found another silver quarter the rest of the year. So My silver average on quarters is terrible. First silver quarter at 23. Yeah, I think, you know, if you're hunting for silvers, $50 are kind of the way to go. I think probably second would be nickels or dimes. Quarters, in my mind, would be last. But, you know, that's my opinion. I could be wrong. $89. That was one of those weird discolored ones that could have been silver. Three rolls left. So Rolando, I actually picked up a box of dimes today. I will be filming that. A lot of people have told me how much silver they find in dimes. All of my silver dimes that I've found in the last 6 months have been out of teller's trays and not out of rolls. And that might not be completely true. I think I found one in a customer wrap roll. But I have yet to find a silver dime out of a Fed wrap box, at least in the last 6 months. So I said I was going to try to start doing more dimes, and that's what I'm trying to do. Who painted those halves silver? Yeah, oh God, Rolando, that pissed me off so bad. I had like 2 boxes of those, you know, 2 boxes where I had one of those in each one. That made me mad. Halves, nickels, halves greater than nickels, greater than dimes, greater than quarters for silver. I don't disagree with you there. I think I mean, obviously your 90% silver dimes, I think, have more silver in them than a 35% nickel. But you're probably more likely to find a war nickel than a silver dime. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Rolando. Yeah, those painted halves piss me off. 43S and 336 buffaloes, one from Denver in my 2 boxes. Nice. I love finding good buffaloes. I really do. Good buffalo nickels are awesome. So I did a like best of video, and I realized after I put it out, I probably should have started differently because I started with a nickel hunt very early in my channel's career, and I didn't really know what I was doing. But if you want to see something insane, just watch like the first 3 or 4 minutes of my like year in review video from early in December, where I just had rolls and rolls and rolls of buffaloes and war nickels. And that was like the first time I picked up customer wrap nickels. It happened to be a collection dump. And I did a live stream, I think, with it. My channel was maybe 3 months old. I had no idea what I was looking for in nickels and had no clue how big a deal it was what I found. I wish I had found something like that today because I could make a hell of a video out of it. Let's see here. So I've got a metal detector. I've been out 2 or 3 times. I've yet to find silver metal detecting. Found lots of, well, some coins, bottle caps, tin cans. I found some 1970s Matchbox cars. I've yet to find any silver, but I also think I'm not necessarily hunting in the right places. So I'm looking forward to finding some silver and gold with my metal detector in 23. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice, Silver Stacker, to time travel to 1964 and get a box of halves? That'd be wonderful. Digging Dave, I think I got like 9 silver quarters for 22. So MCPO Beck, welcome to the chat. I would say your odds were better 7 years ago of getting big silver dumps than they are today. You can still find silver today. You can still get big silver dumps today. But 7 years ago, I think it would have been better. There were less people who knew about it because YouTube's kind of blown it up a little bit. And B, I just think there was more silver floating around out there. Just people were turning it in, not realizing its value. Let's see here. The Bensters, is there any guidelines on getting boxes from the bank? So guidelines, I couldn't tell you guidelines. It's really more, you just need to go in and ask if they order coins. I would not start with a 10 box order. Like I would go in and say, hey, you know, can I get a box or 2 boxes or 3 boxes and work your way up? I do know people who I've talked to about this and how I did it that went from ordering 2 boxes to 4 to 10. And within 6 months, those banks cut them off because they were going through too many boxes. So I keep it small. Most of my banks that I order from, I get 2 or 3. I don't go big. So I would rather have a steady stream than get a bunch at once. Yeah, Rolando, I mean, that's maybe a good way to start. I know with my Wells Fargo, when I first started, I was doing 4 boxes every other week. So I told them, I said, you can order 2 boxes a week or 4 boxes every other week, whatever's easier for you. And they were ordering, I think, 4 boxes at once, and I was picking them up 2 every week. But that was when I first started, that was a really good cadence for me. No, you can just order boxes. The bank gets what the bank gets. And yes, I find sanity in not always hunting half dollars. So I as much as I hate hunting pennies, it's a nice change from hunting halves. And I'm kind of excited about hunting dimes because it's just something a little different. It's not something I've done as much of. And by the way, that was the last roll of our box. I am going to switch over to our microscope here in a second and look for some varieties. So if you guys have questions about those, I don't know if we'll find anything, but we can talk about that if you guys like. It's a pocket quarter, pocket coin. Okay, that box is done. So let me switch over here. Actually, let's see here. Let's do this. Give me a second. Okay, I want to make sure that's up. Can you guys still hear me? Every now and then I lose stuff when I switch scenes. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Okay, good. Thank you, Eric. Welcome to the chat, Eric. Have you been lurking out there? Let's see here. I got a 1982P no FG. Yeah, the 1982P no FG if it's in really good shape, that can be a very valuable coin. I use OBS halftime. So yeah, I've used StreamYards once or twice. I'm just not a big fan of it. I can do much more faster and easier with OBS. Now, StreamYards works a lot better when you're inviting people to be part of your chat. But so as I go through these, I'll kind of explain what we're looking for as well as I can anyway. So the 77D, we are looking mainly for We Trust. They're being doubling within those, and I'm not going to explain doubling, but it is kind of what it sounds like. You'll see 2 of the serifs or the letters themselves. And you can also find that doubling sometimes on the G and the O and the D of God, but it's not on that one. You'll find there's a recurring theme in these. 71, it's typically in trust, and the I of in God. The 74, the telltale sign is there's a little notch on the 4. You'll find it heavily in the word trust, or you can find it in the Y and the T, and that one doesn't have any doubling. I did a video on these a long time ago. I might need to do another one. I'm not going to explain each one. I'll only explain new ones. So it'd be great if we found one. That'd be really nice. So let's see here. Bear Creek, Montana can hear you. So Owl Shadow, is that because I'm so loud or because you're from Bear Creek, Montana? Hey, Willie Lumen, take care, buddy. So Shakerin went through 6,000 and has, which isn't that much in the grand scheme of things. For just somebody doing it every now and then, that's a lot. But finding 4 silvers is not bad. And Shakerin, I hadn't seen a 2021 or 22 more than 2 or 3 in a box until recently. Now I'm getting tons of them. I think Dig and Dave, this hobby is going to slowly deplete itself. I'll be honest. I think coins are going to continue to get hard to get, and I think that more because this the number of people doing it, people hoarding silver, and if the U.S. does what Canada does and they start culling it themselves, finding silver is going to be a dying breed. We'll all be looking for varieties and errors. So the 73D is another one where you can see it very much in the 3 and the word trust, and you can also sometimes see doubling in the I and the B, which we don't have it on that coin. It's just really quiet in Bear Creek. That's funny. So I asked because I have been accused of being too loud in some of my videos, and so I don't know if I'm being too loud. So my first, one of the coins I had that really, made me want to variety hunt, which I realize this takes a lot of extra time, and 9 times out of 10 does not bear fruit. But again, early in my channel, I found a 1982 no FG, and it wasn't even in that great a shape, and it sold on eBay for like $50 or something like that. And keep in mind, this is back when I made no money from YouTube. I had no ad revenue. I literally had nothing. I had no revenue from any of this. So this was all just me doing this for fun. It was my time. It was, and to find a coin on a Saturday and sell it on a Tuesday for $50, I was like, imagine if I could do this 5 times a week. That'd be pretty sweet. So ever since then, I've always been a variety hunter. And the more and more I've gotten into numismatics of the coins, the more excited I get when I find them. So I always get really excited to find errors. So yeah, Shaker, don't feel, I think if you only hunted $6,000 and found 4 silvers, that's fantastic, because that's 12 boxes. My longest streak, I think, is like 28 boxes without a silver. So now granted, within those 28 boxes, I had tons of NIFCs and other things to keep me semi-interested. But I've gone 28 boxes without silver. Let's see here. If you hunt strictly box, so halftime says hunt strictly boxes. I tend to agree with you. I think it's only going to get harder. Got to get those coin machines that might have the little cache of silver. So yeah, and that's why you guys may have noticed on my channel I'm doing more and more customer rolls, because I would rather catch those cool things before they go to the Fed to get wrapped than hope I get them on the way back. So I'm physically trying to do more and more customer wraps. I actually had a bank the other day tell me, we don't have any coins for you. And I said, you don't have anything? And they said, well, we don't have any customer wrap. You don't like the Fed stuff. And I was like, I never said that, right? I just said that I'm looking for customer wrap, but I just want coins. So if you can't do customer wrap, I'll take whatever you have. So we had to get that real clear, because I didn't want to, I wanted to make sure they realized that, customer wrapped and quarters and nickels and dimes and stuff like that is most interesting for me. But if you got a box of nickels, I'll take them all day, right? So I thought that was kind of funny. So Papa Giorgio, varieties are hard to find. I don't disagree. But again, when you find them, they can be quite lucrative. And then, like I said, it is time consuming and not for everybody. Coin roll fishing, I don't know if he's still doing YouTube or not. That dude used to do like 50 boxes of halves a week. And I remember asking him if he did variety hunts, and he said no, because he does 50 boxes a week. So he literally tears through boxes, edge hunts them, throws them in a bin, and takes them back to the bank. Some of these coins look terrible under the scope. Variety has, you have the 79S and 81S Type 1 and 2 proofs. So thanks for letting me know that, Dig and Dave, about coin roll fishing. So I have heard that too, that banks do track the amount of money and this is what I heard, I don't know if this is accurate, that they track how much money you have and how much money you move through the bank. And if you look like a liability to the bank, they will cut you off. So for instance, you know, if you have $500 in the account, but you're ripping through $10,000 worth of coins every week, you can very quickly get flagged as a liability, and the bank won't be allowed to do transactions with you. Now, I heard that. I don't know how true it is. I don't know if that's what I said is completely accurate, but just that's what I heard. So far, again, I've never been limited on purchases other than banks just not getting what they've ordered. And it wasn't because I ordered it. They just didn't get what they ordered. I did have one a couple of weeks ago. Is that a die chip on the D? Where are my die chip people? Is that a die chip? No, that's post-mint damage. Right? Post-mint damage. I'll put that aside. My bank ordered 3 boxes of, hang on, ordered 3 boxes of halves for me, and 3 boxes of the gold dollar showed up. So Brinks just got the order completely wrong. Yeah, coin roll fishing was insane. I mean, if you think about 50 boxes a week, that's $25,000 a week in coin. And I think he did say he spent the better part of the week either hunting the coins, driving to pick them up, or driving to return them. And he had a job too. And I don't know how you do that. I couldn't do it. I can hardly go through what I get through. So it's hard for me to describe Shakerin. DoubleDie.com has a great webpage on it. Typically, the best way I can describe it is machine doubling is when you have a very sharp edge and it looks like a stair step, where you clearly have like a ledge, if you will, of the doubling. A double die truly looks like you have 2 letters, right? 2 letters either stamped on top of one another or next to each other or up and down from each other. Usually your double die, it has the same height. The doubled character has the same height in most cases. That's the best way I can describe it. But DoubleDie.com has a great image. I'll see if I can dig it up here in a second. Come on. The webpage doesn't want to load. Papa Giorgio, coin roll fishing used to post videos. The dude would find 100, 200, 300 silvers a week sometimes. The amount of silver he found was insane. It was an insane amount of silver. So hopefully you guys can see this. Shakerin, you were asking about double die versus machine doubling. And here's an image on collectors.com that kind of really shows how it could look differently. So what I was saying about that shelf, machine doubling looks like this, where you kind of have a very flattened letter and a sharp shelf down to that flattened letter. Whereas over here, it's a traditional double die where you can actually see 2 letter L's, right? So that's just an image that shows a really good example of a double die versus machine doubling. And I found that just by hunting for double die versus machine doubling, that'll pop up really quickly for you. So let's see here. Getting back to the chat, you'll be lucky if you can get that today. Driving all over. Yep, lots of silver. Hey, Stugs, we're at the end of our box. We were just hanging out and chatting. So Diggin' Dave, I had a comment on my post today about the penny that I found, and somebody had said, man, you're really lucky, right, to find a coin like that. And then they came back and said, well, you post a lot of coin roll hunts, so maybe lucky isn't the right word. And Diggin' Dave, I think you're right. It's, you know, if you go out and buy a box of pennies and find a $200 variety on your first box, that's lucky, right? If you hunt 5 boxes of pennies a week for 2 years and finally find a $200 penny, that wasn't luck, right? I mean, that's like these scratch off ticket channels where they scratch $500 worth of scratchers a week or a day, right? And they hit a $1,000 winner. Well, that wasn't lucky. They're just scratching 100 times more than the average person scratching, right? So they'd be lucky if it was the first ticket they bought. So beachside, yes. Finding Merc dimes, any silver dimes. I love Merc dimes, but finding those in coin machines is awesome. I got 3 Merc dimes out of a teller's tray earlier this year. DJR, what's up, man? We didn't find any silver. We're done. I just finished. We got a bunch of 2021s and 2022s. Wow. Hunting Southwest Ohio, he traded $3,000 face of 40 percenters. Give me a second. Let's look at that. So if you guys aren't familiar, Coin Apps, great website. I use it. It's in my almost all my videos where I talk about silver value. So $3,000 face would be 6,040 percenters. If I heard you right, right? So it'd be 6,040 percenters. That's $21,000 in silver. That's before, and 40% silver has a very small premium. And that's at today's rate. So I don't know when he sold it, how much that would have been. So that's insane. That is truly insane. So DJR, I just want to make sure, are you the same DJR that's shooting me emails and stuff? Just want to make sure, because if you are, I got something to say. Yeah, so Diggin' Dave, part of the reason I tried to do dimes earlier this year, and probably the first 4 times I tried, they were constantly 2022 Philadelphia full boxes. So I gave up after like something like February or March, somewhere in there. I just gave up, decided it wasn't worth it. And I was chewing up, $250 of my money, either for a day or a whole weekend, depending on how quickly I could get the box turned around. And I was just like, I'd rather keep that 250 and put it into pennies and nickels and that sort of stuff. So I agree with you. When those dimes were tough, it was, when they were coming in boxes that much, it was kind of pissing me off. I have no, so Rolando, you're putting your totals in there, and nice to meet you as well. I know a lot of people did their 2022 wrap up. I am so bad at keeping track of this stuff. I have no idea how much silver I found this year. It was a good amount. Some stuff like on quarters I can remember because they were small numbers, but if you ask me how many war nickels I found, I don't know. How many 90 percenters or walking liberties, or I have no idea. I'd have to go back and watch my own videos to tell you, because I just don't keep track of it anymore. So DJR, so he's the same one. So just, as you guys know in the chat, there's 29 of you, I think, still here. So DJR, don't know who he is. Started emailing me some time ago. I was actually just talking about you a little bit ago, actually, in your $50 boxes. Started emailing me, I don't know, probably about a year ago. It seems to be just a great friend of the channel. He's been very, very, very kind to me. Lets me know how his coin roll hunts are going. Shares with me his finds in an email like almost every week. A lot of times he finds out what's going to be in my videos before I even post them, because a lot of times I'll tell him what I'm working on. But just a really good friend of the channel, and just wanted to say thank you while you're here, and you can hear it from me personally. And I probably will make a video out of this, but he sent me, just before I went on holiday, and I haven't had a chance to make a video out of it, some cool stuff in the mail. So I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to show it off, DJR. Let's get over here to a more full screen. What do I want to do? Not microscope. Not desktop. We'll just leave it the way it is. It's fine. So he sent me some cool stuff. So he sent me, because he noticed I had a hole in my album. I don't know if I can get that to zoom in. Let's put it under the scope here. He sent me a 1950. I think it's the Denver, if I recall, because there was a hole in my nickel album. There it is. There's the D. I know it's upside down, but it's just the light and the plastic. So he was kind enough to send me a 1950 D to fill the hole in my album. And he sent me a very cool 1953 A Series red label $2 bill. And a nice and crisp 2017 $2 bill. Regular green label. And I thought that was really, really kind for someone to share with the channel. And I have it all right here. And I was going to call it out in a video. And he sent me a really nice letter. I'm not going to read it all to you guys. But I really appreciate his weekly correspondence. And I appreciate it a lot. So thank you, sir. You're in the chat. And I just wanted to say thank you live. So cool, cool, cool stuff. And just so you know, I always ask for red label $2 bills when I'm in the bank, because most of the banks in Atlanta have a steady stream of $2 bills. And probably twice a year, I'll find something like this in the bank. And they're never in this good a shape. I mean, this is, granted, it's got some wrinkles and whatnot, but this is in fantastic shape for being from 1953. So thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate it. So let's see here. Yeah, the 1950D is stupid hard to find. I want to say, like Rob Finds Treasure, it's like the only nickel he needs to complete his album. I mean, it's like his third or fourth set of nickel albums, but I think it's the only one he has left to find. Well, halftime, you stop with your I found 250Ds. Rolando, it's the only one he's never found. Why is this random 74 sitting up here? Hang on. Did I not check that one? Oh, no. This was the one. This was the one that I asked if anybody thought that was. I do. I think that's post-mint damage. That's not a die chip. And we did have one. We had one NIFC on the hunt. We had one 2020. I'm going to throw it in the bin because I don't need it. While I have you guys, and Rick, Hunting Southwest, you still here? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, PMD. I think it's PMD too. Hey, Juan Velasquez. We're going to, if I can make this work. Anybody want to look at this one? Does anybody want to look at some Morgan dollars and talk about them real quick? Anyone? Say yes in the chat. I know Rick just said yes, but if anyone wants to look at some Morgan dollars with me, let me know. Diggin' Dave, what's your thoughts on W quarters? Will they increase in value? So Diggin' Dave, I'm going to tell you what my LCS told me. He said, if you have W's, sell them now. And I've sold a handful of them recently. And if you look on eBay, you will have noticed that every W used to be worth $20 or $30. And now most of the W's are worth 10, 8, 12. I know that there's, I want to say the American Memorial Park, still you can find it going $40, $50, $60. But most of the W's are settling in around $10 or $12. And they will, they're going to do one of really three things, right? They're going to stay there, they're going to go down, or sometime way in the future, they're going to go up. My LCS guy says everyone who's wanted one that's willing to pay a premium for one has one. So if you have a bunch of them, get rid of them. That was his advice to me. So I sold a handful of them over the last few weeks. I still have a bunch of them, don't get me wrong, but I figured I would try to make some money while I could. So like I had a couple of, I have a bunch of the American Memorial Parks. I sold 2 or 3 of those. And made some money on those, but that's what he told me. So I won't say that's good advice. That was the advice I was given. And so Rick, if you have 200 of them, You know, if you had a bunch of American Memorial Parks and you can go make $40 a pop on them now, go sell 10 or 15 or 20 of them and go make your $40 a pop before they're 10. And if they go up to 100, you still have a bunch of them left, right? So that's what I would do if I were you. So that's the way I looked at it. So M Pizzy, that's actually pretty good for 2 rolls of pennies. 18 coppers is not bad. The 2009, which life of Lincoln Cents? So there's the early childhood, there's formative years, there's professional life, and there's the Capitol Dome. So I don't know when you say life of Lincoln, I don't know which one that is. I have about 30 rolls of the 2009 Lincoln Cents. I got them in that same collection dump that had the Buffalo pennies or Buffalo nickels and war nickels in them. And they've just remained unopened in a box. But let me grab my Morgans because I want to look at those before you guys have to start disappearing. Oh, boom. So let's see here. So I have some ugly ones in here too. And yes, I'm handling these with bare hands. I don't have gloves. I'm not going to get gloves. Don't yell at me for not having gloves on. Please. So, Rick, I think I sent you a picture of some of these, but you know, when I look at the Morgan dollar that I got from AppMex, and then I look at this that I probably picked up for like $20 or $25 a year or two ago, it hurts my feelings. So this is the kind of coin that I look at and I go, honestly, it's in great shape. We've got a little wear on the breast feathers. It is a 1970, what is that? A 1979 O. You know, I don't have a huge desire to get this graded, but it's the kind of thing that I look at, and I'd have to pull up PCGS because I can't remember, but it's like, you know, if this is an MS63 coin that makes it a $90 coin and raw it's 50, you know, maybe I put a note on that and I start wearing gloves when I handle it and maybe one day get it graded. You know? So if you guys see this, you know, if you guys have any idea of condition, or if you're like, shoot, if I had that, I'd get it graded, you know, let me know. And there was one I was looking at last night. And I believe it's a VAM, and I'm just trying to remember which one it is. It's not this one. But I've got a couple of these. These are all the ones I had on top that just look the nicest. Again, this is an 1880. This might be the one I'm thinking of. And keep in mind, other than this one I got from AppMex, I've never paid more than I think $28, maybe $30 for a Morgan dollar in my life. When I was in Florida 2 years ago, I went in a pawn shop and they had a bunch of them listed for like $35, $40, $45. And I basically said, I'll buy 12 of them, but I'm not giving you more than 28 a piece. And the guy jumped at it. And I bought them, you know, whatever he would sell me at 28 a piece. Some of these I got from a private sale where it was another one of those. I told the guy I pay 25 a piece and he said, fine. So, you know, keep that in mind as we look at these. I think this is the one I had a question about for any of you VAM hounds out there. Yeah, let me switch over to the microscope only. I think, unfortunately, I can't put my mouse on. I guess I can. I don't want to. Don't touch the coin. Yeah, it's not going to look very good. I think this is some kind of VAM. I think this has got some kind of doubling on it. So that's 79.0, Rick. You know, I showed you the condition. I can pull it back up. See, that's the kind of thing where, you know, if between you, me, and the wall, or maybe one more person said, you know what, that's really an MS62 or an MS63. That's another one of those ones you're going to send some stuff off, Rick. I'll happily flip that up and send it to you. You can include it in a PCGS. You know, I'll pay for my portion, of course. But I'd be like, shoot, if you're going to send into PCGS, send this with it. So you think 60 to 62 on that 79.0. Yeah, let me look at that, because like I'm happy to throw that in a flip and send it over to you. say, well, you know, what is it, $30 to have it graded, $40, you know, I'll shoot you a PayPal or something. We can cover that. It'd save, you know, it'd save me from having to do my own, you know, whatever it is, insured, signature, shipping, and all that kind of stuff. It'd be a great unboxing video for you. It'd be a great video for me. I think it'd be fun to do that. So let me know. This 1880, let me look at the mint mark. It is a 1880p. What am I looking for? This 1880p, just again, looking at the 8 and the 0. On the left-hand part of the top, we've got a little bit of doubling, and then we've got 2 notches on that O, and a little bit of doubling in the bottom left side of that O. I got a feeling, I was looking at the VAMs. I think this is like a VAM 25, something like that, but I'm just showing you guys, if anybody in the chat is a big VAM hound or knows anything about this stuff, it's off just enough that I think that it's a VAM. And if so, it's going to go for a lot more money. And it's in pretty darn good shape. Right? Sorry, I got to switch screens again. We're going to come here. That looks pretty darn good. Again, a little wear on the breast feathers, but you're still probably going to be mint state on this thing. Actually, the breast feathers on this one look pretty good. So anyway, that was the second one that I thought was interesting. I have some really ugly ones. Here, I'll show you the ugly one. Look at that. That's special. I don't know what caused it. I don't remember getting this one. I don't remember how I acquired this one. Some people may say, oh, well, it's fake or it's been cleaned, or I'm not going to argue with you. The detail on it still looks great. I would never pay to have this graded unless somebody told me, oh, you have a VAM that's worth $2,000. But it's actually, the detail on it's amazing. It's just got all this black crap all over it. So anyway, that's an ugly one. This 1882, it doesn't show very well. I guess you can kind of see it. The cartwheel on it's really, really nice. I think this looks 1,000 times better than the 1881S that I got from AppMex. Like, had my coin look like this, I would have been fine. I'd have been super happy with it. And this is where, again, Rick, this is one I'd go, you know, in your mind, is this a 63, 64? Or am I just crazy? Because I think it's a beautiful, beautiful coin. I'm going to check, because I know I have one that has the ear VAM on it. It's a doubled ear. I just don't remember which one it is. 62, 63 would be your guess? Well, I wouldn't argue with you. I don't know what the black stuff is on this guy, but it's another one of my nicer ones. Again, cartwheel on it. I just don't know where that black stuff comes from. I'm sure I could drop it in easiest and it'd eat it right off, but I don't want to clean this coin because it's just so pretty. I don't think it's toning. Make sure this isn't the ear guy. No, it's not. And that is an 1883 O. There it is. I think that's a beautiful one. I think I only have one or two, maybe three more that I think are really nice, and the rest are definitely, I think, in the XFAU range. But I've got a whole tube of them, and I'm not going to go through every single coin. I just wanted to show the nicer ones off because, again, they're the kind of ones that I go, again, you know, if I could spend $20 or $30 to get them graded, and all of a sudden now they're a $100 coin, $200 coin, well, let's go do that, right? 1881 Philly. Again, AppMex, you send me something like this for BU, I get pretty excited about it. This nonsense, hang on, I'm going to put it under the... I mean, look at her face. It's awful. Look at this. It's just beat all to crap. I don't like it. It makes me mad. That's why I'm returning it. Anyway. Back to something that makes me happy. That's an 1881p. And actually, I think there's maybe two more. Unfortunately, everyone has a really nice looking 1921. Now, this one's got some bag marks on it. This would be BU plus by somebody's standards. So, Rick, you said 45 and up. 45 and up for what? Got a big die crack. Look at that. That 1921. Look at that die crack. Starts in the feathers. It goes almost all the way to the rim. That is a pretty monstrous die crack. It's insane. And then I have another 18. Now, I think this might... Now, they didn't do proofs out of New Orleans, did they? Does anybody know? Because this guy, he's either been cleaned or it's going to be one of those deep proof-like finishes because it has just got a mirror finish on it. Now, this is an O. This is an 1881 O, but I think it... Granted... It's not foolproof, but you can tell it's got a mirror finish. I have no idea how that grades, but again, beautiful coin. So 45 and up for low mint state coin. Okay. So you think that looks proof-like. Okay. So it looks like I've lost some people. Sorry, I'm just kind of geeking out about this because I love Morgans and I don't know... I don't get them graded, so I don't know as much about them. But real quick, let me see if I can find my double ear VAM. This one's like a pocket coin. It's probably this one too. No. Watch, it'll be something I flipped up and I don't even have out here anymore. No. No. There he is. So this is an 1891. Let me put this back on. So this is an 1891, not in the best of shape. Probably would still be, I would imagine, XF. Maybe. But it's an 1891, but I don't remember which VAM it is because every Morgan dollar has like a million VAMs. But this one is the double ear. Where'd it go? Here it is. You can see the bottom earlobe, the bottom of the earlobe and up towards the upper earlobe is doubled. So I know for a fact this one's a VAM. I just wish it was in better shape. So, but probably I would guess XF something. So, all right, halftime. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you coming. Anybody else that's left, thanks for joining. Thanks, Juan, for hanging out. I guess everybody's leaving. That's okay, though. I wish I had found some stuff to give away, but did not do that. But you guys stay tuned. I will do a 4,000 sub giveaway here. It'll probably be early February, though, just due to my travel schedule. But David Carlos says, Dave's not here, man. Did I say Dave? Maybe I did. Sorry. But Owl Shadow's there. It was nice talking to you for the first time, Shaker. No worries. It's a VAM 2, about $50 in XF45. Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Bensters. Thanks, M. Pizzy. Juan Velasquez. Dave's still here. Hey, Coin Silver, I'm like, I don't know, 15 or 20 away from 4K. My problem is, I've got to advertise the giveaway, and I'm going to be gone the next couple of weekends for volleyball tournaments, and my dad's having surgery, and I'll be up in Virginia for the last week of January. So trying to get something scheduled and now it's going to be very hard. So I'll announce it, and we'll probably do the 4K giveaway in February. But Hunting Southwest hitting 2,500. That's a big number, bud. That's awesome. Hey, Jimmy Licari, thanks for that. He's going to be fine. It's a rather invasive surgery, but the survival rate's like 98% or something. So he'll be good. So unfortunately, I got to get up there for about 7 or 8 days and help take care of him. So not unfortunately, but I'm glad I have the ability to get up and help take care of him. So let's see here. But I really appreciate each and every one of you guys coming out. I'm not necessarily closing things up, but I know Morgans aren't everybody's ball of wax. I know Rick and I traded some emails, and he's here, and some of you guys might have interest, but I love my Morgan dollars. I really do. Some of them I want to get graded, and some of them I kind of know the value, and some of them I didn't, so I wanted to do that while people were here. But if you guys have any more questions, if there's anything I can show you, if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, I can probably hang out for another 10 or 15 minutes, but happy to talk about anything. Juan Velasquez snuck in when nobody was looking. So I'm going to do a video for the 19 of you guys left. Well, you guys, let me get your feedback, and all 19 of you need to watch the video when I make it. Would it be interesting for you guys if I did a in-depth video on buying silver in a foreign country, what you need to think about, what you need to look for, and how you should be shopping for that silver in a foreign country? Would that be interesting? I kind of think it would be, because I learned something in the process. So Jimmy would love a video like that. Anybody else? Juan says yes. Okay, so I will definitely vote. Just 2 people is enough to make me go, I'm definitely going to do that. So yeah, while I was in Canada, I actually went by a coin and stamp shop and bought some silver, and still did well, but made some mistakes and didn't realize I had made the mistake until after I bought it and got back to the room and really started doing the hard calculations in Excel. But I also made out on a couple of coins, and I'll give you guys just one real quick preview of what I learned. So like I said, when I make this video, you still have to watch it even though you're here. So don't skimp out and not watch the video. So I already owned one of these. But now I have, well, actually, I think this is maybe the third one I have. But I picked up another Marvel Black Panther from what year? 2018. There's a little bit of gunk on the capsule. But this was a piece. It's premium silver. So for those of you that are like, hey, you should be getting silver as close to spot as you can, which I 100% agree with for stacking, pure stacking. If you're more of a flipper stacker like I am, then this is oftentimes the kind of piece you're looking for. And the reason I bought it is that right now, the majority of the places selling this, and even the place that made these, retails $49.95. You can occasionally find them cheaper on other bullion dealers. You can often find them even more expensive than $49.95. And on eBay, sometimes you can get a great deal and find these things for like $35 or $36, but often at times they're $50 or $60. So in my head, this is a $50 coin because I'm going to ignore eBay. Well, in Canada, this was $49.95 Canadian. And while I was up there, the Canadian dollar was 73 cents on the dollar. So I had a 27% discount on $50 to buy this. So there's more to it than that, and I'll get into it in the video. But so did I overpay? Oops, look at me breaking stuff. Did I overpay for just a pure piece of silver? Yes. Did I underpay for a premium piece of silver? Absolutely. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm probably going to cover. And I don't have a ton of silver to talk about, but there's a lot to be learned, I think, in this, and in the transaction, and in the fees, and in the exchange rate, and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, that's one of the pieces that you'll see in the next video that I do about buying coins in a foreign country. So Juan Velasquez, it's the kind of video I would hope gets a lot of attention. I struggle with this. If Diggin' Dave's, I think you just chatted, you're still here. He's been around a lot longer than I have. Hunting Southwest Ohio can probably speak to this, but as a YouTuber, as much as there are great analytics, and as much as I study those analytics, I still have no idea what drives viewership. I've had some outstanding videos that have died at 500 views. And I say outstanding videos, meaning I found really, really cool stuff. I think they were fairly well edited. I think my delivery was fairly good, and they trailed off at 500 views. I have made videos where I have literally found nothing that honestly I can't believe anybody watched. I have a quarter video in particular that has 24,000 views. So I agree. It's the kind of video that I think if it gets in the right place, it could get gangbusters. It's also the kind of video that, quite frankly, I could post and get 225 views. I just don't. I have no idea. So Shaker, and if the teller knew that it was a silver certificate and wanted it for herself, as the teller, she can very easily say, no, that's going in her till, and she's buying it. She has every right to do that. If you had a teller that didn't know what it was, she was probably just being mean. And you can always ask to speak to the bank manager. I mean, it's kind of rude, but you can do that. John Persinger, new to collecting coins. Let me know if you have any questions. I was new to all this not too long ago, so I feel like I've learned a lot in the last several years, so I don't know everything. So Diggin' Dave, 1974. I mean, without seeing it, who knows? Was it in a dryer? Was it in a laundry machine? Did it get shaved down? Don't know. Yeah, Juan Velasquez, I agree with you. She was probably just trying to keep it. So, Diggin' Dave, I don't disagree with you that consistency is important, because I think the algorithm does reward people who consistently make videos. I think it also rewards people who consistently make videos that people watch. So, for instance, I've done some silver videos that, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I thought there was some useful information in there. Again, 200 views. Silver Dragons does the same video. Granted, he's got 100,000 subscribers. He gets 5,000 views in 8 minutes, right? So some of it's not even just about the content. It's not even about how often. It's, how many subs do you have? Are people interacting with your channel? Is YouTube going to promote your channel or your particular video over somebody else's? So, Shaker, and what would you recommend for a website or source to get cheap scrap metal silver coins? I don't have anybody for cheap scrap metal silver coins. I'll be honest. Most of my silver that I buy is from your major 4 or 5 bullion dealers, and I always shop for the best deals, or I shop for the best things that I think I can flip. I do shop on eBay, but I am also very careful on eBay to find people who have lots and lots of sales. And when I say lots and lots, at least several hundred. If you got 50 or less, I'm not buying silver from you. The Lucky James Eller, what's going on, man? Welcome to the chat. We're just kind of winding things down. I'm doing a little Q&A. We're showing off some other silver, but we're just kind of wrapping things up. But glad to see you. Yeah, you see, I'm a man of high quality. So no, I don't always buy high quality stuff either. It's again, If I could find silver at melt or less, I'd be right there with you buying it. So if I could find silver shot for 10% under spot, I go throw a bunch of money at that right now. I would. You're not going to find silver shot at under 10% under melt, or even at melt. Well, nice digging, Dave. What's that thing worth at 1974 quarter? Any idea, Dave? Did you guys, while we're waiting on that, did you guys watch my last silver purchase video? I know some of you did because we talked about it already, but that little 9 fine 10-ounce bar had me in stitches too, how tiny that thing was. I thought that was pretty funny. Little fat, chubby bar. Yeah, Digging Dave, that would be cool if you could let people know, that thin planchet. Is it a $1 variety or is it like, a $50 variety, right? I think that'd be pretty cool to know. So the original Lone Ranger says shop local and jewelry stores. Sometimes they have coins, and I got lucky enough to buy 10 to 15 cent over spot with some nice coins. That's not bad advice. I do think some of that's regional where you live. I can tell you that in the metro Atlanta area, jewelry shops and local coin shops are and pawn shops are very aware of what they have. I have never found a great deal at any of those places. The last time I saw Walking Liberty $50 in a pawn shop, they wanted $20 a piece for them. And they were at the time worth about $9 each in melt, maybe $8. I have yet to find a great local to my area. I told the story earlier of getting a great deal on Morgan's in Florida at a pawn shop, so it does happen. But I do think it is regional, so it's worth a look. You just might your mileage may vary. Well, that's pretty cool, Digging Dave. I'd check eBay, see if people are selling that thing for anything. It's probably going to be tough to find in Redbook or PCGS. If I could find 1964s for $8 a piece, I would buy 10 rolls of them. Because that's 16x, right? Most people today, your minimum probably 19.5 to 20x on a good deal. So if you're at 16x, you're doing great. I would buy 10 rolls of those today and sell half of them tomorrow if I could get them that cheap. So not that lucky. I was at a pawn shop a couple of weeks ago, and they had some fully dated Standing Liberty quarters, and I think they wanted $10 a piece for them. And keep in mind, a standard 90% quarter is only worth about $4.50 in melt, maybe $5.50 with premiums, give or take. $5 in premium with premiums. So $10 for a Standing Liberty quarter seemed like a lot to me at a pawn shop. But they were fully dated, so they weren't slicks. They were decent looking quarters, right? I mean, probably not quite XF, probably high, very good, maybe into fine. I don't remember the years though, so that was my other problem. Is while I was there, I didn't have my phone because if it was $10 for a coin that numismatically was 50, I would have bought it and then sold it the next day. But that's just me. So it is 11:41 East Coast time. I'll hang out with you guys for like 4 more minutes. So last questions, anything else you guys want to do or see? My email is, I think, on the screen, and it's in all my videos. So if you guys have anything, shoot me an email, and I'll try to get back to you at some point. Can't guarantee you it'll be tomorrow. But this was a lot of fun. I was just getting my legs back for doing a live stream. I hadn't done one in forever and had that really bad box of halves I wanted to hunt. And I really appreciate each and every one of you, especially those of you that have been here since I started the stream. Very impromptu tonight. I just really, really appreciate you guys coming and checking out my content and hanging out with me. So this was a lot of fun. Shaker, and do you know of any foreign coins that are silver that are commonly overlooked? There's a lot of Mexican silver coins that are overlooked. Really, any of the European stuff that's I won't say any. There's a lot of European stuff that once you get into like the 50s, early 60s, 50s and before, it could still be made of steel. It could still be made of nickel, but there's a good chance that it's made of silver. So I couldn't tell you specifics, but I do know that in the last 3 years, I've picked up a dry mark that was made of silver, and I did find a Mexican coin through a next door deal that the guy had no idea it was made of silver. He wanted like $1 for it. It was probably worth 15, but it was a silver Mexican coin. So original Lone Ranger local coin shop is buying 16x, and another in town over is 20x. Not really good deals on buying coins at a coin shop. So again, to share with you my local coin shop, which they are an amazing shop. I mean, they have everything. So I would never talk bad about them for their knowledge. They're sharp guys that work there. They have an amazing stock. But they're very proud of their silver. That's my way of saying it. So I do know for a fact they are the type of shop that do kind of what you're saying there. If you took a roll of 40% silver in and tried to sell it to him, he'd give you 2.5 to 2.25x, right? So 2.25 to 2.5x for your roll of 40% silver. And then he would turn around and sell it for, God, I don't even know what the going rate right now is on it. He'd probably sell it for 8x, 9x, 10x on that same, he'd literally just turn it around instantly and make 4 times the money on it. So I don't think what you're saying, Lone Ranger, is that uncommon. I do, again, think it's regional and where you live. I live in a big city, or just outside of a big city. That's what I have to put up with. I'm sure I could drive an hour or 2 away and find a coin shop that would treat me better. But, if there's something I just have to have, my local coin shop will have it. I'll just have to pay out the nose for it. They are great on supplies, though. So if I go up there and I want wraps, or if I want, coin capsules or books to fill, they have great prices on all their supplies. But their actual silver, they're just real proud of it. So you're over on the Texas Gulf Coast. All right. Very good. All right, boys and girls. Well, it is 11:45, and I'm going to turn into a pumpkin in about 15 minutes over here on the East Coast. Like I said earlier, thank you, each and every one of you guys, for hanging out. Stay tuned to the channel. I don't have any content quite in the hopper yet, but I did pick up a box of dimes that I'm going to film in the next day or two. I have my Canadian silver purchase we're going to cover. I'll do a video on the update for AppMex. So I've got some stuff coming, just nothing in the hopper yet. So you guys take care. Thank you again so much for hanging out. This was a lot of fun for me. I hope you guys had fun. Have a good night. Sleep tight. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.